What the heck is a buyer specialist and why you need one? Hi, I'm Shelby Stricklin with Shelby Stricklin Team Remax Alliance. I had the honor and privilege of spending some time talking to our team's buyer specialist, Mike Prosser. Find out his tips and tricks on how to find the right house and get that offer accepted. Good morning. I think that's how we start every day.
Absolutely.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm excited to get to try to share with the world what we actually do in real life. One thing that I've been curious about myself is just kind of, you've been in real estate for over a year now. What has that been like? Like just the experience of jumping in and becoming awesome at it?
Honestly, I don't know if I'm still in honeymoon phase with real estate or kind of where I'm at with my career, but I honestly love what I do. I mean, I've been in sales my entire life, and I think I've kind of found my thing now.
Yeah.
So it's still, like I said, I don't know if it's honeymoon phase or it's my thing. So the one thing from real estate school that really stuck in my mind is that it's my job to look out for the best interest of the buyer. And I've always kind of been that way with my customers, and what's best for them. And it's really just kind of it's my daily goal. I've probably hurt my paycheck several times just because I've talked buyers out of houses. A lot of times buyers go into a house with blinders on and they don't see major issues or concerns. And I kind of see stuff, and I help them kind of look at that, so that's fun to me. It's helping them, take care of them. And once they do find that house, not just a house, but that house, that's fun for me. So.
Yes. I think we've had several clients. Thank you specifically for telling them not to buy something. They got a little goo-goo eyed at the remodel, that's, in the South, we call lipstick on a pig sometimes. It's hard to tell unless you really know, and know what you're looking at there. And so a lot of people don't have a way of knowing that. So that honesty, I think, is something that's super important. And because I think when people hear the word selling, or sales, they think we're here to talk them into something. And that's, like we were saying, that's so important to learn what they like and get them that. And then to not be afraid to say, no, this isn't the right one. Or, sometimes to step back and say, hey, this has everything, you were thinking about. Can we pull the trigger? And even help them get over like some of those anxieties of moving forward. There's that too, I think, sometimes. So
absolutely.
What's something that you've been using to help buyers get those houses that they want? Because, we're seeing so many like multiple offers and all of that. And we just looked at numbers on how many offers we write, to get those homes. And I think we were surprised at how successful we are getting those offers through. But are there any like tactics or anything that just kind of stand out that you feel like are really making like a difference to help us get that higher rate?
What I've seen so far with real estate is it's definitely a case by case basis. Every buyer is different. Every house is different. Every deal is different. I'm yet to have a deal that's the same. So, and it's really just kind of trying to use all the tools I have in my toolbox to, and like we've talked about in the past, I always ask the question, what's most important to your seller? And that helps me build, so that's important. We're gonna build off of that. And I open my toolbox and say, what do I have to help me with that? So
yeah. So you're talking to the other agent before writing an offer and just asking how to come up with that win-win.
Yep.
Them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sure that makes a huge difference. Well, and just starting the relationship off right with that other agent, I think it's interesting to think about the way that we work with other agents. I think a lot of people don't understand that, we start out in competition with each other to get these listings or these buyers. And then we have to get past the fact that, maybe this person beat us out before, or, we beat them out, or there's some sort of feelings there about that. And then we have to figure out how to work with them to meet a common goal,
Absolutely.
So I think that's a great way to like get started, to start that relationship. What is there a question that like buyers ask you like all the time that you think, okay, if I could have this recorded and I would just hit play.
Please don't look up houses on Zillow.
Yeah.
So
Just stop it right now.
I have the proper tools to give you to help to make your search easier. So, I'd love to sit down with every buyer beforehand, and go over what they're looking for, what they need. And if I can set them up a search and they'll use the tools that we give them, it makes it a lot easier on them. Not for me, it makes it a lot easier on them. And what those buyers that do use those tools, they do understand, it's so much better, so much easier. So actual information, factual information. So
another thing I think is interesting too, I just had this experience last week is, hey, can you set me up a search for, this area, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 200,000. I'm like, okay. Can I ask you like 17 more questions? I don't want to send that because I would be just bombarding their email with it would become annoying,
Yeah.
And then, we take the time to ask those 17 extra questions on the front end. And I know you do as well. And then a lot of yours comes from, looking at the houses and kind of even getting more in depth into it. But that way I always tell people, we never want to annoy you in your email. We want, when that one comes, I want it to be like, oh, Shelby sent me this, or Mike sent me this, like, look at this one. Because it needs to be that specific and that good, and speaking back to the other websites that you can set your own searches up on, it probably seems really similar, but we have the ability to eliminate things or add things that they literally, it's just a different interface that they don't have the ability to do.
And I try to tell people all the time, it doesn't cost you a dime for me to go look at houses with you. We'll look as many houses as you want to look at. And I said, that honestly helps me out. So the more houses we look at, the more that I understand what you're looking for. I said, and especially with couples and families, everybody kind of wants something different. I listen and I understand what everybody's looking for. Every time somebody makes a comment, it's like, I don't like those, I like that. Ooh, look at the size of that yard. I listen to that. And every time I see a listing, then, that helps me after a week or so, or a couple of days looking at houses, then I know what they're looking for, and then when I see a listing come up that it kind of hits all those marks, I know I send that to them. So here's your house. So
I feel like people say, I've heard them say like, I don't want to waste your time. I'm like, you're not wasting my time. I'm like, first of all, it's my job and I love my job. So yay. So let me do my job. And sometimes you have to figure out what you don't want to figure out what you do want,
Absolutely.
It's just a process, so it's not a waste of time. Even if you go and look and it's not the right one, you figured out what you don't want that day, and that just gets you one step closer to figure out what you do want.
Yep.
One question on a lot of people's mind, and we've been talking about it a lot in our other videos, is where do you think the market is right now? I've talked to a couple agents and they're saying that they're thinking it's softening a little bit.
And I guess I don't have enough experience to know the normal trends in the market. So I understand we're back to school and kind of into summer, slow down for that. And we talked about this a month or so ago that I thought it was softening, slowing down just a little bit. It's still competitive. It's still very competitive. There's still a lot of houses out there, a lot of the difference I see right now, 2 months ago, we had 30 people competing for the same house. Now we have 5 people competing for the same house. It's still out there and the market's still different, but it's slowed down a little bit. Now, is that going to change in 2 weeks?
Right.
So it still could go back to craziness, but it shifted slightly. Being the trends that I see with the slowdown, 2 months ago, I was showing houses to clients and we were at a house and there were, the showing schedule got messed up and there were about 15 people in the house looking at the house, different realtors, different buyers. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, there were people there when we got there and more people pulling up when we left.
Wow.
Now we can go to a house and we can actually stand in the driveway and have a conversation, because there's not people coming in and out. So it's a little bit of a shift, which is good. It's slowed down a little bit. And I've had the opportunity to help some buyers that have been looking for a little while and slow down, take some time, not feel so rushed. And so we've got to make our offer on everything, and put a little bit better set of eyes on it. So
I feel like we're getting some offers pushed through too, that we'll be able to negotiate a little bit more than we were for buyers and even use some different loan types.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The ones that are maybe a little more harder to work with, we were able to get some buyers pushed through with those. So I definitely think I agree with you. It's a little bit slow, not slow though, is the thing. It's softening is the right word. It's softening. Like, okay, it was super crazy. It's like, okay, it's still a little crazy, but it's okay. We can manage it, and I would rather it be like this than the super crazy. So,
absolutely.
For everyone's sanity. I know you told me one time your goal is to always be better than Zillow. And that's absolutely, something to strive for and true, and we have, it seems the same, I'm sure, from the outside looking in, but we just have so much more as realtors to have more tools and things like that. And then of course, just the human element of learning what people like, what they don't even know they like, sometimes helping them figure that out is part of it too.
Yeah. And there are actually some clients that I have 2 or 3 different searches set up for different criteria, that they want to look in this area and this area, and those areas overlap. So it shows them, 100% where that house is, the area that it's in, and I'm still that realtor. I look at all my collaboration center searches. So if it's an active client I'm working with, I open all those up. And if I think it's one, even though they got the email, if I look at it and I think it's one that they would like, they get a message from me. So, hey, take a look at this one, so I knew we were talking today. So I actually counted my collaboration center emails yesterday, and I got 45 collaboration center emails.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at every single collaboration center email. So yeah, it's fun. Like, Saturday night at 11 o'clock, it gets, when it's still going off, but most of the time I'm like, yay.
Why are people putting up listings at 11 o'clock on Saturday night? Let's talk about that.
Right.
I know they do. I don't understand,
They need to go to sleep.
I know. I don't know. I'm grateful for some of our systems. We'll just say that. So. Yep. Well, speaking of being grateful, I'm super grateful for you. I am just so glad to get to work with you every day. When I was, just Shelby, it was so hard to imagine having someone I trusted enough to let the people that I love and care about, and clients that I didn't know yet as well, work with. And I'm at a point now where I actually know in my heart of hearts that they are getting a better service by working with you, because we can divide and conquer. And I know that you just take on that caring and, feeling of understanding where they're coming from and what they want. And you just love people like I do. And it's just such a good feeling to just go, okay, here's Mike. He's awesome. I promise. And then you prove that, and they're just singing your praises by day one, honestly. And so I'm just so grateful to have you.
And I'll echo that. I'm beyond grateful for being a part of the team. So it's just I appreciate you taking a risk and hiring a new realtor. And I tell people every day, people that haven't seen it in a while, they ask me how real estate's going. I tell them it's great. I love it. But I'm beyond blessed to be part of a great team. So there's no way that I could do this on my own. My part that I do, I love it, but there's no way that I could handle it all. And to be able to have that backup and that team behind me is awesome.
I'm very grateful. And I think I hunted you down, by the way. So I'll never forget. Yeah, I think I know you were going to do an open house for us and just kind of getting your feet wet. And I just saw your heart and your talent. And I was like, you were just asking me for some signs, I think. And I was like, so tell me about your hopes and dreams and what is your 5-year plan? And you're like, is this an interview? I'm like, well, maybe. So, well, thank you so much for doing this interview today. And I look forward to sharing it with everybody and kicking some more ass and taking some more names. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you found this information valuable. If we can answer any questions or get you any additional information, please just let us know. We are always happy to help. Bye.